Welcome to episode 196 of Broad Street Hustle. I'm your host, Tommy Nanny, bringing you a fun and exciting show as we do our annual Major League Baseball preview show where we discuss all things baseball leading into the season. Obviously, we will start with the Phillies heavily and then go into divisional breakdowns. And we go as far as giving you pennants, who's going to play in the pennant and who's going to win the World Series. So it's a great show to listen to. And I'll go around our host, as we always have, Jason Seattle.
What's up, Tom?
What's up, Jay? And we got Jimmy Shaw.
Kind of stinks that we're not doing a draft this year, I think, because a two-time MLB defending draft champion.
They get the first pick and makes it.
I didn't have the first pick 2 years ago.
Yeah, who did? Meeker, and he probably picked the big.
No, Jason did. He took the Phillies.
Homer.
Yeah.
Homer.
But we lost one of our draftees, and they kind of just fizzled out.
He's on a boat in the Persian Gulf. I think he was drafted otherwise.
I think Meeker still owes dinners that
he owes dinners. Yeah,
that he's gotten out
of dinners, which he will be paying.
Which you could pay at Giovannina's Pizza. You tried the rest, now try the best. As Giovannina is a sponsor of our Major League Preview. Next week we have the Players Championship, and then followed by more road to the Kentucky Derby races as we lead into the first Saturday in May. But again, like I said, it is our annual baseball preview show as preseason's going on right now, and the Baseball Classic, I believe is, or whatever it's called, is about to start soon, I think.
Tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow?
Technically it started today, but I think that was just preliminary stuff.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
well, like they were doing spring training. I saw the Phillies play like Canada, a couple teams.
Those are like exhibition games.
Yeah, so I saw they already kind of
Team USA plays tomorrow night.
Yeah, so not sure who's interested, but we'll start. But we will preview the show. And like I said, as we preview the show, we're going to start with the Phillies. So I want to say we probably touched a little bit on the Phillies. One of our shows, I kind of remember discussing. Maybe it was when they re-signed Schwarber. Could have been maybe around that time. We went.
There was a couple. We talked Schwarber. We talked. I think Jason and I talked one week when they got the reliever, and then there was before and after Bichette. So
yeah, that's right.
Few times.
Yeah.
So now this is the official kickoff to the baseball season. So Jason, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'll give you the floor with the Phillies. I have some things here, but you can kind of spitball to start us off.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm going to start with the rotation, right? And I'll start talking about how I see the rotation going. So, obviously, Sanchez has become the ace. I'm going to mention Wheeler as the number 2, Luzardo 3, Nola 4, and Painter 5. So, if Wheeler comes back strong, which from all indications are like he's looking really good and he's on schedule, maybe earlier than schedule. Like now I'm hearing maybe last week of April he might be pitching. So if he's the number 2 starter, I'm going to drop down to Luzardo, right? I absolutely love Luzardo this year. You'll see in some bets I'm doing. This is a guy who last year, now I know, you can't just say, you take away 2 starts. But if you guys remember, he had 2 disastrous starts. If you do take those 2 starts away, which he was tipping pitches, apparently.
Yeah, and the one start, they kind of knew it was over, and they
left him out.
I remember they left him in and just let him,
Yes, correct. He was really good last year. And this is his contract year. And you know how that works with guys going into a year where, this guy's pitching for his contract. I absolutely love him this year. If you go into a playoff with Sanchez, Wheeler, and Luzardo, I don't think there's another team in baseball that has those 3 at the top of their rotation in a playoff series, right?
You don't think with Luzardo, though, and I know you can't necessarily predict injury, but wasn't last year like the first year he pitched without serious like DL stints and his most it was like his most innings pitch. Wasn't there like a lot of things that
He had a year in
that-
Miami where he didn't. But I mean, he's been known to miss starts here and there. Now Nola, we all killed Nola last year, and he was not good, but he looks really solid so far. You know how guys, I mean, look at Cole Hamels. I think it was, what was it,
9, the year they
9.
went to the World Series, he was bad.
2009. He was awful.
Mm-hmm.
Awful. These guys lose their arm slot. Their delivery gets screwed up. Then they fix it. And maybe Nola, I'm not going to say Nola's going to be a top of rotation pitcher anymore, but as your 4, you could do a lot worse than Aaron
Yeah,
Nola.
I think his fastball already hit 93 or 94,
back,
which is
yeah.
what
And
he
then
didn't even
Painter.
touch. It was like late May when he started to hit that velocity.
Then you got Painter, who 2 years ago was the top pitching prospect in baseball. Now, he had surgery, and last year was kind of shaky, but he's looked solid in so far also. So I think the rotation is going to be really strong. Now, the lineup, right? Let's get into the lineup. So I'll start with, first of all, before we even get the lineup, I'll start with Miller. So Miller's kind of a concern right now because he has back issues, and he hasn't even played yet in the preseason, and he may not. So that's not good, right? You kind of want to see what you got with Miller. He would have got a lot of at-bats in the preseason. So, like, if he's starting the season behind the 8 ball, I don't know. I mean, you hate to say it, but this might be a lost season for him. Maybe late in the season, you could count on him. But if he's not going to play in the preseason, it's going to take him at least a month or 2 to ramp up. And I don't know. That's kind of concerning. So that I don't like seeing that. Outfield is a problem. I mean, let's be frank about it. Like, you don't know what you're getting from these guys. Garcia, I don't know. I mean, could he bounce back and be what he was a couple years ago? Maybe. Could you count on it? No. Crawford, I don't know. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but I think he's a little overhyped based on his stats of what you're seeing, like how he's getting his hits in the minor leagues, which you're probably not going to be getting those hits in the majors because your fielders are better, they're better positioned, and I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. And then, of course, left field is Marsh and Kemp. I mean, outfield's a problem, but I think they'll be able to fix that at some point during the season. Here's the thing I found that was interesting. I've been saying, when we've been talking about the Phillies, that only $50 million is coming off the books at the end of the year. It's actually 80. $80 million is coming off because it's Castellanos, Walker. You got to count Luzardo's 11 coming off, so that's over 50 right there, right? Then you got Sosa and Alvarado are coming off. So you add all that up, and it comes to around $80 million. So now we've been saying Luzardo is going to get a good portion of that, probably $25 million, because they're bringing him back next year. That leaves like $50 million to play around with at the trade deadline, whatever you want to do. So I think, like, if one of these other teams like really falls off, and Fernando Tatis becomes available, something like that, look out for the Phillies at the trade deadline to make a big splash and kind of fill out, your cleanup hitter or your outfielder that they're clearly missing right now. So all that being said, I keep hearing the negative WIP nonsense of everybody's saying on Twitter, they're running it back. They're running it back. They're bringing back the guys, but they're also, you have a different outfield. Now, I don't know how good it's going to be, but you have 283 guys are going to be different in the outfield. You got Andrew Painter, and you solidified your bullpen. Your bullpen's a lot better coming into this year than it was. I mean, head and shoulders better coming in this year than it was last year. And what was really the main problem why they lost probably in the playoffs was the bullpen. So I don't know. You hear all this negativity, and you see 89.5 wins as their win total. I'm not buying it. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to win the World Series because the Dodgers are just unbelievable, but I can see a nice playoff run this year. And who knows what happens.
Yeah, I mean, the Phillies are, you're patting it like the results are completely what dictates the narrative of what they were last year. They were a 96 win baseball
Correct.
team. They were
Yes.
second in wins. Now, we know the Dodgers probably could have won more if they played players like starters. But regardless, the Phillies won 96 games, and they came to the playoffs, and they did what they've been doing. They weren't getting timely hits. Their bullpen wasn't good. But, like, you can't fix a 96 win team to win in the playoffs. Like, you don't, like, how do you fix a team to win in the playoffs?
You tinker with it and just hope that they.
Yeah. Now, I do think that the difference with the Phillies in the playoffs has been because if you look at Toronto and some of these teams, the Dodgers, now Toronto, Guerrero, like, kind of went on a crazy run, but they get in the playoffs, they get contributions from guys that are your fifth hitter, your sixth hitter, your seventh hitter. The Dodgers, the backup catcher that they decided to start hit the game-winning home run in the one game. Like, that's what the Phillies missed because why? Marsh gets out every single time he's up in the playoffs. Kepler couldn't get a hit in the play. Like, I get that. So but you're not fixing that with guys you know are going to be able to do it in the playoffs. Like, at the end of the day, you still won 96 games. So to your point, Jason, I agree. Like, the running it back, yeah, I mean, technically they ran it back if you look at their main guys. But, like, outside of the Dodgers and then the Mets added Bichette, who added somebody that's completely different than the rest? Like, a big star that's completely different. I guess Bryant went to, or Tucker went to the Cubs or whatever.
Dodgers.
Yeah, that's right, the Dodgers. Yeah. But yeah, so like it's not there. You weren't getting like Aaron Judge. You weren't getting so you're not. They tried to get Bichette. They kind of got outplayed. We talked about so they're not right. They're running it back. Yeah, but they're running it back with a 96 win team that just didn't do well in the playoffs. If Strom doesn't give up a 3-run homer in game 1, they might win that series. If Castellanos can run the bases, they might win that series. Like, you can't factor that into an offseason to say, because you know what? You replace it, and the guy might do the same thing in the playoffs again because you just don't know. So, like, yeah, I agree with
If they had balls and strikes challenges, they might win game 4 and win the series.
There was a very controversial that completely changed that at bat for Duran walked somebody that changed it and was it?
No, I've been saying that Luzardo should have struck the guy out in the 7th. That ended up with the tying run. Yeah,
a couple. So,
it was Sanchez, wasn't Luzardo. It was Sanchez.
No, it was Luzardo.
Well, it happened.
The one I'm talking about is Luzardo in the 7th. He had it was 2-2 count with 1 out, and because JT was interviewed about it today.
It happened a couple times. So
he said so, and because Luzardo gave the ump the look, it would have been 2 outs, nobody on base, and JT said the ump told him almost immediately, "Yeah, I made a mistake on that."
Well, it happened to Sanchez also.
No, I was saying Luzardo. Yeah. Sorry, Sanchez. Sanchez was the starter.
Yeah,
it was Sanchez, but Luzardo did get squeezed too, but Sanchez is the one I'm thinking of because he started.
I think Duran got squeezed. That led to
Duran was tough. Yeah.
So it's like baseball is funny. I know people don't want to hear it, but it's funny that way. Like,
and all that being said, the Dodgers, as great as they were, and they might be even better this year. How close did they come to losing to the Blue Jays?
If the guy slides, they win the World Series, right?
Running by an inch, and if the guy doesn't make a circus catch in left field,
You had 2 outfielders collide at the fence.
Right.
With 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Wasn't it the guy he didn't have a secondary lead? The guy that got thrown out.
That was the other one.
There was another one too. Yeah, so there was all those.
Out by an inch.
I agree. And then the narrative on the Dodgers is different. You spend all this money and you can't win a World Series. Right. So it's completely, it's results. Correct. And I'll turn it over to you talking about. I did have a list of things asked. I mean, honestly, Jason, I checked everyone off. I had pitching staff. I have something on the lineup that I'll get to. Crawford, Miller. I mean, you covered everything, so I'm not going to go through it. But yeah, I couldn't agree more. Chalky.
Yeah, I don't have much else. I'll just say, Tommy mentioned Luzardo. So last season, Luzardo threw 183 innings. The only other time he threw more than 100 was in 2003, threw 178, and then 23, yeah. Only
Yeah, you
ended
might
up.
need a new computer there, Chalky.
Oh no, the computer's fine. It's my brain that's the
The
problem. Eyes are fine. It's not processing it into my cranium. But 2024, he comes back, elbow injury, 66 innings. So 178 innings was 78 more than they were through before. He set another record last year. We'll see if that holds up. Bullpen is better. Lineup will have questions. You're adding Garcia. He looks in phenomenal shape. He's a suspension waiting to happen based on this team's history in the last
hopefully he's
year.
not-
So
Whoever prescribes these PEDs to the Phillies players, they're the worst stuff on the market, right? Kepler, Rojas, like what do we do? At least
Alvarado, who is 75 pounds overweight, it's
Rojas not just the dumbest.
He just
professional
he
athlete.
wants to hit home runs, right? Is that
I
the
thought he was
deal
going
with
to
him?
suspend it for weed, honestly. Like I'm like, because
That's what I heard. I had
but
heard that.
But I don't think weed is considered a performance enhancing
Well, no,
drug.
they
No,
were
no,
saying
it's not
they were
weed.
saying
It's
that
not weed.
because it was something like MLB doesn't restrict it, I guess, but the World Classic did. That's
Yeah.
why it initially came out he was suspended from the World Classic, but
Yeah.
not football. But I guess there was stuff behind the scenes that they were still.
Yeah,
working.
it was more than it's not weed.
But like it just seems like he wanted more power because he wants it because his swing is that way, right? He swings as hard as he possibly
Right.
can to try to like.
Yeah,
dumb.
I mean,
He's just
I don't know.
dumb, like Jason said.
dumb.
not quite as Jurickson Profar is the dumbest, I guess, for
Yeah.
back-to-back PT suspensions. But regardless, I think Stott, they tweaked his swing a little bit. We'll see if he gives you anything a little better.
I mean, he started to hit better towards the end of the year. So.
And in spring training, he's done all right.
Right.
I'm thinking we're going to get an even year Nola year, and it's not going to be your number one all-star that he was a couple years ago, but certainly serviceable at the 4 slot if he ends up where Jason says, look, you weren't going to do anything this offseason to get better than the Dodgers without the Dodgers even making the moves they did. So, you try to do what you can. And yeah, you were fairly close to the Dodgers in most of those games, and the Dodgers really could have lost either the series against the Phillies or the series against the Blue Jays. I mean, I don't want to get too far ahead. They win at least 90 games. I think they win the division, but we'll cover all that. And we'll see if they're built for the postseason. And I admire Jason going through numbers for 27 as if there's even going to be a baseball season. But maybe that factors into whatever they do, not knowing what's going to happen with the collective bargaining agreement expiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to say about the 89.5. We said the 89.5 is the over under. I mean, I feel comfortable saying over it. Chalky obviously does.
Yeah, they're crushing.
I know.
I'm not going to say crush because my prediction when we get the predictions is I think they win less games than they did last year, but they go further in the playoffs. But I think they definitely.
I think 90 to 95 is their window. I don't see them winning more than last
I'm
year.
going to say
but
93. They win 93.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure Atlanta's going to be like you're going to be playing teams that.
I don't know about Atlanta.
Yeah.
They got problems.
I know Strider don't look the same now. But what about the lineup? So that's been that's Jason mentioned. I mean, I'm talking about as far as like what the lineup, like where these guys are going to hit. I mean, it sounds like.
Well, I have 2 lineups written down. I mean, you could go to whoever you want, but
I was going to say, it sounds like that they want Harper, Turner, and Schwarber to be the top 3, right? I heard Mattingly interview. They were talking about move it. Yeah, one of the I forget what show it was. We're saying something about putting like maybe Stott first, whatever, and then moving Schwarber to 4, and then Mattingly had like an insane amount of numbers on how often the 3-hitter hits in the 9th inning versus the 4-hitter hit in the 9th inning, meaning like your 3-hitter comes out with 2 outs in the 9th, a percentage of the time, way more than your 4-hitter's ever going to come up a percentage. Meaning like we want these guys because they have the potential to get obviously their 4th at bat and even their 5th at bat. Then the 4-hitter's going to get. And it was like, I mean, obviously this is how baseball is trended, but the numbers were pretty crazy. How often it like percentage wise that they do. So it sounds like they want these guys to be in the top 3.
I think there's no doubt their top 3 is going to be Turner, Schwarber, and Harper. Now,
okay, so now it comes to cleanup.
Now comes who's second and who's third.
Oh, you think they'll flip-flop Harper and Schwarber?
Well, from what I heard, now I don't like this. I heard that Harper's going to hit second and Schwarber's going to hit third.
To protect Harper.
Protect
'cause he's
Harper. I'd rather, because I think, say what you want about Harper, I think he's a better hitter than Schwarber. So I'd rather Schwarber be getting the pitches to hit than Harper getting the pitches to hit, and Schwarber striking out 200 times and hitting 40 home runs instead of 50.
Yeah, but I was going to say Schwarber's a little more disciplined than Harper when it comes to going outside the strike zone and stuff. You don't think so?
I think he was last year because he was getting pitches to hit. Now, I don't know what he's going to – I mean, Schwarber struck out – I mean, Chalky, you could call me a liar because I'm sure you have stats up, but Schwarber struck out 200 times, a bunch of times, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I would be. I mean, Harper missed a good portion of the season, right? I'd be interested. What was Schwarber's numbers at that?
Prorated Harper's numbers to.
No. But I mean, what did Schwarber do while Harper?
I see what you're saying. Without
what was
Harper.
The difference between when Harper was behind him and when Harper
wasn't? Yeah, that might be.
I don't know.
Maybe we get that for another episode, but that's a good question. I mean,
so Schwarber struck out 197 times, which was equal to his 2024 performance. So his 4 years with the Phillies, it's been 200, 215, 197, and 197.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say he's going to be in that 200 range.
Yeah,
but again,
pretty much.
You might have a point.
It's for. Is it still Bohm? I mean, or Garcia?
Bohm's 4.
Bohm's 4.
Yeah, I think your top 4 are going to be Harper, Turner, Harper, Schwarber, Bohm. Then after that.
So Mattingly, again, he talked about with the inception of the 3-batter, the pitch estimate. So whenever that came to, that's why you see these heavy righty-lefty.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to. Now they're fine with putting Harper and Schwarber because they can hit left-handers. But as the lineup goes, you're going to see the righty-lefty. Right?
So what I have written down,
come in and be able to go through a left-handed hitter, go through right-handed hitter, which means that's going to probably be.
So here's what I have written down for a right-handed lineup. The top 4 we said. Now I think they're going to put Marsh 5th. I don't know,
which would give you the righty-lefty,
and then Garcia 6th,
and then Stott 7,
JT 8, Crawford 9. I don't know if Marsh is good enough to hit 5th.
That's the problem. That's where you struggle.
Maybe Stott hits 5th. I don't know if Stott's good enough to hit 5th.
Yeah.
You're right.
When a little bit of trouble.
When they face lefties, it's just going to be an all right-handed hitting lineup, basically.
Well, yeah, they're saying Stott's now going to maybe be more of a platoon too. So when he's not going to bat against lefties, I mean, you're going to see Sosa, which it is what it is. Yeah, so that was one. I had some things on the trade that, like you alluded to it, Jason. Like, do you foresee them having an active trade deadline?
I do. Yeah.
Miller was on there, so I mean, you made a good point with Miller and the injury, so that's definitely going to affect. I was going to say, do you think Miller comes up? That affects too. Like, if Miller was able to, if they felt confident that Miller was able to make the jump at some point, you might have seen like Bohm get moved right at the deadline.
So, here's what I think. I think this year Miller is more of a guy that's going to come up if there's an injury to Bohm, to Trey Turner, to Stott. If one of those guys gets hurt, I think that's when you see Miller. If not, I just don't think you make a trade. If you're contending, I don't think you upset the apple cart by trading Bohm
and put a rookie in there to play third base.
At the deadline. Yeah. That's an off-season trade. And obviously now that, they might just let him go because his contract's up. But if they were trading Bohm, it would have happened already, I think.
Fair enough. Anything else on the Phils before we got to try to keep it under an hour? We got about a half hour to go through the league. Anything else?
Just a prediction. I think at some point you're going to see a lineup of Schwarber, Harper, Turner as your top 3.
You think Schwarber's going to lead off?
I think at some point they'll try it. I don't think long term it's going to make sense because I think Crawford's probably locked in that 9 slot, and then you got 3 lefties in a row. But I think Schwarber will go up to the.
I mean, Turner as a 3-hitter though isn't like.
I think they're going to. Look, if they started with Turner, Harper, Schwarber, and it's great. They're not going to change it, but I think they're going to call it Mattingly, call it whatever. I think there's going to be a little more movement where, Turner was only hitting 1 or 2. They might drop him down to 3.
and Mattingly was just quoting stats that probably every team in the league uses. It's not like he's coming.
Yeah, no. But I think, I mean, he's it's who was the bench coach before? I mean, it's gonna be a fresh set of eyes. I think Thompson is probably going to defer to him a little bit. So
I meant to say that while we were just going through it, that one of the things with Thompson is he is a great regular season manager, right? He keeps the players. He's able to keep them at that, like, you're playing 162 games, keeps them even keel. He knows when to push buttons. He knows when to sit guys. He knows when to. But when it comes to the playoffs, there's times where he manages those games like it's a game in August, right? Where
here you go.
He refused to put, what's his face in, the guy that left that went to Boston, Ranger in.
Ranger.
I know he wound up starting, but he didn't want to put him. He didn't want to I think they brought Mattingly here to kind of be that playoff type of.
I think it's important. I think you're right. And let's go back to Foghorn Leghorn, back when they won the World Series.
Jimmy Williams
ran the team. He was Manuel was a glorified hitting coach, cheerleader, while Jimmy Williams ran the team. The year they won the World Series, he left. And in 2009, you saw what happened when he mismanaged the World Series.
Right. Yeah, and continued to do it throughout the rest of that run, and then eventually the run was over. Yeah, I mean, I agree. So I do think that's important. I can see that being a pretty big factor as well. So, all right, let's move on here to the rest of Major League Baseball. And do we just want to go through divisions, and then we'll kind of?
I say go through the divisions, give our division order, and then if we want to talk about any teams,
if you have
along the way,
yep. And then we'll run it through the maybe your pennant and who you see winning the World Series, and then we'll go through some hot takes or awards, whatever you want to call it, as we finish up. Yep. All right, well, so I'll just go how I have. We'll start AL. So I have first AL East, and we'll just go through. We'll start with you, Jason, and I have odds too. So if you I can run through.
I have win totals. So you have odds. I have win totals.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna pick an upset. I think the Red Sox are gonna win the AL East. Their pitching staff is strong. It's really strong, and they got some good young hitters in the lineup now. Some good prospects came up. So I'm gonna call that an upset. Yankees are good. Everybody wants to kill the Yankees for not doing anything. Their staff is going to be really good. They still have Judge. They brought back Bellinger. I think the Yankees.
Yeah, didn't they get a pitcher? Who did they get? Somebody, right?
A starter.
Well,
I mean, Cole's coming back. I don't.
Right, but I thought they got. I thought I remember seeing them.
I don't remember. I know. Their staff is one. Rodon's forward, but eventually it's going to be Cole, Rodon, Fried. I mean, that's great.
I thought they got somebody else.
Schlitter, the guy from Schlittler, whatever his name is. I have the Blue Jays third. I think they caught lightning in a bottle a little bit. They're good too. I mean, don't get me wrong. They probably going to make the playoffs, but Orioles, that's a strong division. Orioles are tough too, but I just don't think they have the pitching. And then, Tampa Bay every year, you shit on them and they're decent. So that's a strong division.
Yeah, I see it really close, really similar to Jason. I had Boston winning that division as well, so a little bit of upset. I had the Yankees coming second. Now I had Baltimore third, and I thought Toronto was just going to take a step back. But honestly, Baltimore Toronto could easily be interchangeable.
Yeah.
I don't. Because I'm looking at it like Baltimore had a down year last year when they were supposed to be good, and Toronto had a better year than they were supposed to have. So now it reverts back to the mean, and it flip flops. And then Tampa, and Tampa's plus 2,500 to win. So obviously, like Jason said, they're not predicted, but they're sneaky. I mean, they do it every year. Chalky.
I have an upset of sorts as well, but I have Toronto winning at plus 250. I got the Yankees second, Boston third, Baltimore fourth, Tampa Bay fifth.
All right. AL Central. So I'll go first here. I have Kansas City win that division as a slight dog at plus 225. I got Detroit second. They were plus 110. They got the strong staff. I mean, that's why they're obviously plus 110. And then I crossed out a bunch here, so I honestly can't tell you who I landed on. I have Cleveland, and I crossed them out, put Minnesota, and I crossed out. I think Cleveland, Minnesota, and I'm down on Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland to me is like,
They're a little.
I'm down on them. They're not spending any money. They're trying to. So I think that's why I ultimately picked Minnesota, and then I got the White Sox last. But the key is I got KC winning that over Detroit. Chalky.
In order: Kansas City, Detroit, Cleveland, Minnesota, White Sox.
And then you, Jay.
I do have Detroit winning. I like their staff. I have the Royals second. Royals are they're good. Cleveland, Minnesota, White Sox.
Yeah, nothing crazy. And now we got the AL West, and it's your turn, Chalk.
I mean, I'm taking the even money here. I got Seattle winning the division, Houston second. I think the A's could creep up to third. I don't know if they're going to be a playoff contender, but I'm not big on the Rangers or the Angels, to be honest. So I got it. Seattle, Houston. Are they still just the Athletics? They don't have a city still, I guess, right?
They're just the A's, yeah.
I wrote Oakland, so I'm saying Oakland.
They play in Sacramento, but they're
Yeah,
whatever.
they're
Rangers, Angels.
Jay?
I have the Mariners. I like the Mariners a lot this year. I have them win the division. I like the Rangers too a lot. I think their staff is really good. Astros, I'm a little down on, but I'll put them third. A's fourth, and then Angels.
Yeah, I had Seattle winning the division as well. I actually like. I mean, I have Seattle going far. I like Seattle a lot. I have Houston, then Texas, but I didn't have a strong opinion there, to be honest. Then Oakland and the Angels. Nothing crazy. I guess we'll go. Do you want to keep going to the pennant or go through? Yeah, let's finish off.
Why don't we just go to NL?
Do you want to do NL? All right.
Yeah,
so we'll go
do
NL
NL.
East. That's who I got next. The NL East. Jason, I'll let you go.
So I have the Phillies winning. You know, I think they win the division. I really wanted to pick the Braves second because, again, and I didn't. I picked the Mets second. But the Mets, like, yes, they have Peralta now and they have McLean. But after that, who else do they have in the rotation? Like Senga? Okay, maybe if he bounces back. But their rotation's not that good other than the top two guys, if you ask me. Yeah, they brought in Bichette, but the infield is like a softball infield defensively. I mean, who's good other than Lindor? Lindor's really good defensively, but the other three guys are softball players at their position. So, and you have Soto, obviously, who's, could win the MVP. The Braves have big problems, if you ask me. I mean, Schwellenbach's probably out for the year, and they do have Sale. Strider, I'm not convinced on. I mean,
No, they're saying
had him.
Strider's numbers are like way down. Like his.
I had him in fantasy last year, and his fastball is not what it used to be.
No,
I traded.
Yeah,
I got rid of him. I think he's done. I don't think he'll ever be the same. But he's their number two. After that, their rotation's not that good. Their bullpen's not great. Yeah, their lineup should bounce back, but I mean, even that, they have injuries in their lineup. I think it was their shortstop got hurt, and then one of their outfielders is now suspended for the year. I do have him third, but I can't go any higher than that. And then I have the Marlins and Nationals.
Yeah, I honestly have it the same. I'm a little more up on Atlanta than Jason is, but I did ultimately have the Mets second. I flirted with Atlanta second, but
I wanted to pick them second.
Yeah, I know. So did I. But then it gets tough for me here because I'll admit it. I mean, like, it's hard to, when it comes to this division, it's hard. I have the Phillies, obviously. I hate the Mets. I don't like these teams, so I never know. I know, but I'm telling you, I don't know if I really can truly distance myself from hating them versus trying to be unbiased.
I hear you.
So I think some of it might be a bias.
Yeah.
because like if on pay, like the Mets did improve. I agree, they're pitching, but
They
like
improved offensively, but I mean,
yeah,
I
but
mean,
there was but like last year their pitching staff was not terrible. Like their pitching staff, it was their offense that like their lineup sucked last year.
yeah,
So, but I'm not. But their staff isn't. I mean, they kind of overperformed last year too. A lot of their guys on the staff.
yeah.
They got that rookie that was phenomenal. So, but yeah, so I did ultimately go Mets, Atlanta, Miami, and Washington. Chalky.
Phillies, Mets, Braves, Marlins, Nationals.
So it's a clean sweep. All right, NL Central. Chalky, I'll start with you.
All right, so here's my cop out. Gun to my head, who wins the division? Cubs. Who would I bet? Reds at plus 500.
I want to say, don't you take the Reds every year?
It's
Yeah.
probably the third year in a row.
Yeah,
at least to make the playoffs.
I
Reds have a lot of young talent. It has to come together.
I
They
will
did
say,
make.
you said it every year. At some point, they got older. No, they're
At
young.
some point-
How to get older?
They're still relatively young, but they did make the wild card games last year, right? And got
I don't
blown
even
out. I
remember.
think
They
they
played the
did.
wild
I think
card
they
game,
snuck in. To Dodgers blew them out. I think, if I remember correctly.
They did,
Yeah. Do you remember that now?
You know, the Cubs, they lost Tucker. They brought in Bregman, and then I think they picked up another pitcher, right? Did I remember that?
Yeah, they got Cabrera from the Marlins.
Okay, right. They traded for him. You know, they have the most talent, and they probably should win. But at 5 times the price, I'll take the Reds to win the division if I'm making a bet there. I want to take Milwaukee just because I'm down them every year and they find a way to win. I'm gonna say this is the year they don't find a way to win the division after trading Peralta. So, but I will have them third. Pittsburgh didn't do enough for offense. You know, they brought in Ozuna, but I don't know that they have enough bats to get up into the playoffs yet. So I have them fourth, and St. Louis is way at the bottom of the division probably this year after all the guys they traded away.
Jason?
So I do have the Cubs winning the division. I just think they're just better than these teams. I have the Reds second. I do like the Reds, although Hunter Green now is having an MRI. If they lose him, that's a problem. Because he's really good. I have the Pirates third. I think the Pirates pitching staff is going to be really good. And this kid Griffin, he's going to make the team, and he looks like a superstar. And they added a couple of guys to the lineup. I think the Pirates they're going to be decent this year. And I am down on the Brewers. I know they do it every year, but now you traded for all. I don't know. I can't see them doing it again. I mean, maybe I'll be wrong again, but I'm down on them. And then the Cardinals are just rebuilding, so they're done.
Yeah, I'm closer to Chalky probably, but similar to Jason as well. I have the Cubs winning. I actually think the Cubs are going to win the division pretty easily. I have Cincinnati second. I do have Milwaukee third. But it's one of those where I don't think second and third are close. Like I think the first two Cubs win easily. Reds, I have them. You know, you'll see later, but they get their win total, whatever. And then I think the drop off is a lot. Then I got Pittsburgh and St. Louis, but maybe Pittsburgh beats Milwaukee. That's possible. I wouldn't be shocked. Now, if you could play Pittsburgh to win the division at the end of April, that's probably a good play because they don't think they come out pretty good every year, and then they just completely fall off the face of the earth.
Mm.
All right, and then the NL West. I'll go first here because it's probably the toughest division. I'm going to take the Dodgers to win the division here at minus 650, which is insane for a division. Man, I got Arizona second. I'm kind of down on the Padres. I'm not a huge Padres guy. I got Arizona second. I got the Padres third. I got San Fran fourth. I got Colorado last, of course. Jason?
So, yeah, I mean, listen, the Dodgers solidified their outfield with another superstar. They just solidified their only weakness, which was the bullpen. They have like 6 starting pitchers. I mean, know what else. What else you could say? I mean, they're definitely winning the division. I don't like the Padres either. I agree with you, but I have a different team second. I like the Giants this year. I think their rotation's pretty good. They added Devers. I added Devers last year, but he'll be there full season. I like them. I think they're pretty good. And I'm down on the Padres, like you said. Diamondbacks and the Rockies.
Chalky finishes off.
Dodgers, Giants, Padres, Diamondbacks, Rockies.
Same as me.
Yeah, I kind of like Arizona because I like them, but I could flip flop San Diego and San Fran for me. But I do think at that point it don't matter. But yeah,
I think Arizona's pitching is a huge question.
Yeah, they have some issues with their staff. And then is Carroll back or
Carroll? I don't know if he's gonna be ready at the start of the season or not. I cared more when he was on my team, but
you don't have him anymore.
no, I did not. I don't. Yeah, I had
Well,
him. I had him last. I had him last cycle.
Yeah, I'm getting that confused. Okay.
All right, let's run through now. So on the American League, Jason, you had the Red Sox, the
Tigers and Mariners.
Tigers in Seattle. So who are your 3 wild card teams? Or
Yankees, Blue
wow.
Jays, and Rangers.
Yankees, Blue Jays, Rangers.
Yeah.
And then who do you have going to the pennant?
I have the Red Sox playing the Mariners in the ALCS.
All right, Chalky.
Yankees, Detroit, and Astros are the wild cards. Your championship series is Mariners, Yankees.
Okay. And I have Yankees, Detroit, and Houston as the wild card, and I have Boston playing Seattle in the pennant. All right, NL. Jason, you had Phillies, Cubs, and Dodgers wild card.
I have the Mets, Reds, and Giants as the wild card.
Mets, Reds, Giants.
So I had Mets, Reds, Arizona. So I'll stick with Arizona. Jason, you had in the pennant.
I got the Phillies playing the Dodgers.
Chalky.
Phillies and Dodgers.
I have Phillies, Dodgers as well. So me and Jason have exactly the same pennant. And Chalky, you are pretty close. You just have the Yankees instead of Boston. Now the thing with that is you don't know who they're going to play in the play. They might play each other in the second. That obviously that always kind of throws a monkey wrench. But
yeah.
All right. So then, Jason, Seattle, Boston. Who's in the championship?
I have Seattle winning the pennant.
Chalky, you had Yankees, Seattle. Who do you have?
Seattle over the Yankees.
And I also had winning the World Series, so they have no shot. All right, we all had Dodgers, Phillies. Jason,
I mean, listen, how could you look at the Dodgers team and say that they're not going to win at least the National League? I mean, it pains me to say it, but I do think that they're just too good. Now, if the Phillies beat them, I will not be surprised because of all the negativity. You can't imagine the negativity that I've heard about the Phillies. Obviously, we've all heard it through, the idiot Philadelphia sports fan, but even like the national, like Beason and all that, like they all hate the Phillies this year. I'm like, okay, good. So I will not be surprised if the Phillies beat the Dodgers, but I'm going to pick the Dodgers.
Yeah, Chalky.
Yeah, I mean, if the Phillies beat the Dodgers, I think they win the World Series. However, I don't think they're going to beat the Dodgers. So I will take the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think I just don't know how you could say the Phillies are going to beat the Dodgers at this point. Without looking like you're just picking the Phillies because we're
I mean, the Dodgers have like an all-star
team. Yeah, unless now we know injuries play a huge factor.
Yeah,
so guys can we know all that. But as the team stand now, like honestly, if you're picking the Phillies to beat Dodgers, to me it screams like we're saying we're rooting for the Phillies. We win. Like you know what I mean? I mean, yeah. Like to be honest.
But you'd be surprised if the Phillies beat them. I wouldn't be. I mean.
No, I mean, baseball's funny. I mean, we know that baseball, I mean, the Dodgers were the best team for years and didn't win. So, yeah, I just think now they're so good. Like, we talked about it last year going in the very same show where, like, the weaknesses that the Dodgers had were
They fixed them.
addressed. And then we even mentioned, and I mean, give ourselves credit, like, because I think we talked about the Dodgers last year as far as injuries and all, and we said like, well, if this pitcher gets hurt, they have this guy, and then if this pitcher, and that's exactly what happened. They throughout the year they just had guys fill it, and then the playoffs they all played, and they were unstoppable again. So,
Mm-hmm.
Seattle Dodgers in the World Series, Jason.
Did Chalky give his?
Yeah, he was Dodgers.
I mean, I have the Dodgers winning. Man.
Yeah, I also have the Dodgers winning it all for a 3-peat. Chalky.
I mean, I wanted to go Seattle. We haven't had a 3-peat since those Yankees teams of the late 90s, but I mean, they were the way they won is the way these Dodgers. I mean, oh, can they do it again? You know, we won a World Series. Oh, let's trade for Roger Clemens. Oh, like they found ways to add, and they won 3 in a row. And
guys, like, it's like, all right, maybe they lose a little bit of the hunger, but now they got they got guys that haven't won that are going to bring that hunger to win.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and then you would get the Scott Brocious that would come up big, and like, you know, like these Dodgers get Kiki Hernandez, or Pages or whoever hit. So yeah, I mean, it's lame, and I don't remember the last time there's been a gap. It wasn't even this bad last year, right? Dodgers are like 230, and the next team is 10-1. Like, you don't see that big of a gap to win.
I mean,
the World
there's
Series.
650 to win the division is insane.
Yeah, but I mean. There's nobody better right now.
Yeah, so we all have Dodgers winning. We all have Seattle playing them, kind of uneventful, right? But I will say, it might rain there a lot, but that's a hell of a year for Seattle. They win the Super Bowl, get to the World Series. It might be a hell of a year for Seattle.
They might get the Supersonics back too, right?
Yeah, and that's been talked.
Yeah.
And I have no idea if they're cracking or any good, but they got a hockey team too.
That's true.
Yeah, no idea.
I literally have zero idea. All right. So let's move on as we kind of finish off the show. That's our predictions throughout. Now we go awards. Is that where you're going, Jason?
Yeah.
You have awards? Go ahead.
I have awards and I have like league leader stuff.
Okay, go for it.
Well, I'll give out a category, and then if Chalky has one.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll start with the National League MVP. Now, listen, for both MVPs, if Ohtani and Judge stay healthy, they're winning both. But, you know, sometimes they don't stay healthy. So I'm going to take 3 shots in the National League. First one's a homer pick. Bryce Harper at 30-1. You know, 30-1 on Bryce Harper. I'll take that.
Didn't I see Chalk? I thought I saw 22-1 on DraftKings today.
I'm checking right now.
You did 22-1 on DraftKings. That's a good point. So I wrote down 4 different. 22-1 DraftKings, 30-1 on FanDuel, which is what I bet, 30-1 on the Scorer, which is what ESPN used to be, and then 28-1 on 365.
Okay.
So I
actually thought 22-1 was decent value on when I saw.
That's why, you shop FanDuel's 30.
So 22, 22 is right for DraftKings.
So Jackson Chourio, I bet him 50-1 on FanDuel to win MVP. And then James Wood for the Nationals, I got him at 60-1 on the Score to win MVP. Again, if Ohtani stays healthy, he's winning.
Yeah, those guys too. Like if the Nationals are bad as we think, like it gets hard. You know,
I just think the kid's like a young superstar.
Yeah, I remember saying that last year.
Yeah.
Chalky, did you have anything?
I'm not even taking a shot with NL.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote down Harper. I thought Acuna. I mean, he's 12-1. I thought Acuna could come back, and I mean, he has the goods.
Yeah.
But nothing crazy. All right, AL.
So AL again, Judge healthy. Jealous is going to win, but Junior Caminero for the Tampa Bay, 25-1. I got him on FanDuel, and then Kurtz, the kid for the A's. He could be a young superstar. I got him at 15-1.
Chalky, do you have anything? You said you didn't have NL, but
one pick, Kurtz 15-1.
Yeah, I thought Rodriguez 13-1 was if Seattle was,
I do like that.
So that was,
and I usually bet him, and I might bet him, but you know what, 13-1, I thought was a little.
It's a little. I know, it's because you have Judge as a big favorite. But I actually thought I was surprised to see Bobby Witt was plus 550.
Yeah, I mean, he could easily win.
I know,
but
but I thought plus
No doubt.
550 is low, right?
Yeah.
I was a little. That was just something I wrote down just because. All right, Jason, you got. I'm assuming Cy Youngs.
Yeah, so I'll start with the National League. Luzardo, 30-1, 35-1 actually. I got him on the score. I think that's some phenomenal odds. Logan Webb, I got at 20-1 across the board, so that's DraftKings. And then Roki Sasaki, I mean, maybe just because I have him in fantasy, but I mean, the kid's got unbelievable stuff. If he could get it together, pitches for the Dodgers, 100-1. Take a shot.
Chalky.
National League, Yamamoto at 5-1, and Chase Burns at 60-1.
Yeah, I'm assuming Skeens is pretty good favorite.
I like 2-1.
Plus
Yeah.
plus 225. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I figured. All right. AL.
So AL, I have Cole Reagans at 13-1, and then Mackenzie Gore at 40-1. And I mean, kid, he's on a better team now, and
Just
he
got to
puts
play
it
the
all
Phillies,
together.
and he's win the MVP.
That's true.
Chalky.
Hunter Brown 13-1.
All right. I didn't have anything. Did you have anything else, Jason? Kind of lead
I
the
do.
words.
So here's my big bet. Now, you guys go put your mortgage on this. The kid McGonigal, Kevin McGonigal, he's a local kid. He's from Delaware County. Actually went to Bonner. This kid is like an 80 out of 80 hitting. He's one of the best young hitters that come up in years. Like, he's just a pure hitter. The kid's eventually going to be like a 25 home run, 310, 320 hitter. I think he wins the rookie of the year this year. I got him at, I think, like 9-1 on FanDuel. This kid's unbelievable.
And who's he
Wait
playing
till you see
for the fans?
Tigers.
Detroit.
He's like a second baseman or shortstop. I don't know what he's going to play, but he's just a pure hitter, man. The kid is really good. I mean, all these guys that are above him in the AL, you Savage, they're all all pitchers that they came up last year. You couldn't touch them. You know what happens in the offseason. They now everybody's seen him. They have film on him and all. Bet this kid.
Plus, those guys all came up, meaning they didn't pitch all season. Like they don't run into any bad parts of it. Like they hit a lull and they got to come through it. They get a tired arm, things like that. So yeah,
bet this kid. Telling you.
Chalky, did you have any rookie of the year?
Do you have NL, Jason, or are you just doing AL?
I do. You could go. You could start with NL.
So I really don't for AL. I mean, McGonigal at 6-1. I mean, I certainly looked at that. There's a bunch of guys under 10-1. I just didn't feel
you could
that
get
strongly.
better than 6, though. You got to shop around on McGonigal.
Yeah, I didn't shop around. I'm only going up for DraftKings. NL, it's a lot of it is a homer, but Painter at 30-1. If he's as good as advertised, some people love his stuff. I don't know that they're going to let him pitch enough to get it, but we've seen pitchers come up in May, early June and win.
Yeah,
So
I heard a pretty good analysis on Painter and why his struggles. I mean, obviously the time, but like it's all off of his fastball. His fastball just doesn't have. So his fastball had rising movement at one point, and it does no longer. His spin rate on his fastball is not what it was. It's more of like a cut, and he doesn't get swing. He's not getting swings and misses on his fastball, and I mean, is that still from the Tommy John? Like could be for sure. So, 31, you can't argue with, but I'm starting to get a little nervous with Painter, but we'll see.
I bet. No, he's looked good though this year. I think his arm slot got messed up. They were saying because I heard them talking about him. He actually pitched. His arm slot was messed up, and they fixed that. So I don't know if he'll be what he was, but
I mean, look, the one thing the Phillies, like especially, I mean, the pitching coach Phillies has a great, he's a great pitching coach. So.
So I have. Is that the only one you had, Chalk?
Yeah, that's the only one I had.
So I bet Painter. And I did JJ Weatherholt. He's another kid that he's just a pure hitter for the Cardinals. I mean, but if this Griffin, who's the favorite, I got to sneeze. If this Griffin, who's the favorite, is as good as he looks, he's just going to win. I'm not going to give that out, but he looks like a superstar.
Anybody you don't have on your roster you like?
Yeah, wow.
Oh,
I'm a
they're the
big-
2 favorites, so you
I'm a
you
good
picked
GM.
right. You
I'm a
picked
good
right.
GM, obviously. I mean, I have him.
If you want to trade for a reliever, let me know.
All right. Do you guys have any? Do you have anything else? You said you had some league leaders.
I have league leaders.
Go ahead.
So I have 4 home run guys. I got Kurtz at to lead the league in home runs at 10-1, I believe. I have Caminero at 25-1. I have Rooker for the A's at 50-1, and then I have James Wood at 150-1. I have other stuff. Chalky, did you have home runs?
The only league leaders I have is wins for pitcher.
Go ahead. I'm going to do them next. So you
So I like to for Cy Young. So lead the league in wins. Yamamoto 20-1.
So I have Luzardo at 30-1, and I have Webb at 16-1. Lead the league in strikeouts. I actually like this one too. Jake Mizorowski for the Brewers at 65-1. If he pitches enough innings, the kid's unhittable. And then Reagan's at 15-1 or 18-1. I can't read my writing. I have saves. Maybe this is a homer thing, but Duran was like 17-1 to lead the league in saves. Lead baseball in saves. I think he's gonna get opportunities.
Yeah, I was gonna say they use them. That's the one thing.
Like just seventh choice. I mean, it's not like.
I mean, they use them, and it's a team that's projected to win low 90 and win. So.
Yeah, I thought that was value. And then this is a good one. Luke Keeschel plays for the Twins. I bet him to have over 160 hits at plus 650. The kid's really good. He's a pure hitter. I thought they were good.
Yeah, it's a fun one too. If it's fun, you check it all season, and that's
I don't think that's that many hits, and for I mean he's really good. So,
Chalky, did you have anything else?
I have 4 team over under wins. So 2 unders. I have Diamondbacks under 79.5, Braves under 87.5, and 2 overs. Even though I put the Royals up top of the division, I think it's more likely Detroit finishes first or second, and Royals could drop. So I got Detroit over 85.5, and then the Phillies over 89.5.
All right. Anything else, Jason, before we end this?
No, that's all I have.
All right. It's a pretty good episode. Kept it on the hour. I believe, Chalky and Jason, this one will get posted on our streaming, or listening audio, I should say, audio streaming. So Spotify, Apple,
and YouTube, and YouTube also.
Yeah. If you've listened this far on YouTube, you're probably not going to Spotify at this point.
I forget. I guess I should have said that at the beginning.
Yeah, unless you're driving and you.
Yeah. You listen to it. Please listen to us on as many platforms as possible.
While you're taking a shit, whatever you know.
We will on next week's episode, which is the Players, I believe, also as an audio episode.
I tell you who I'm not taking to win the Players.
Who's that?
Fitzpatrick.
Oh, was he bad today?
He's like second to last.
Wow.
He's like 19 shots back or so, or 14 shots back. Yeah.
Wow. That sucks. All right. Well, episode 196, Broad Street House. Have a great night.